I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
We're throwing bottles in the studio. It's the Better Call Saul after show, season 5, episode 4, Namaste. I'm Ryan Nilsen, and yes, we are the Better Call Saul recap. This isn't the talking bad after show. We're not biased. We're going to tell you how it is. And how it is this show is absolutely amazing. But I cannot do this after show alone. I am joined by one of the best justice teams in the business. To my left, he's an actor. He's a Better Call Saul fanatic and Breaking Bad fanatic. He is Sean McHugh.
What up, AfterBuzz? Quick shout out to my lovely and dear wife, VK Lynn.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited. She's watching right now, so I had to give her a shout out.
That is lovely. And Loren, shout out your wife.
I would like to shout out to my wife. Hello, Rebecca! There you go.
Gabbi Castania.
What's up, guys?
And Gabbi, you are all over Twitter and social media for this show. You're the expert in the corner there, and you also are the newswoman.
Yeah, I'm trying to be. I mean, I'm trying to establish that for our Twitter, so we'll see if it works.
And I'm the lonely moderator. No wife or girlfriend to shout out, but we are shouting out everyone in the live chat that Loren will be monitoring. So please share all your thoughts. We have a ton of awesome segments to talk about today. We're going to be talking about, is Mike in Mexico?
What?
He got shivved, though. Saw doing one of the most badass mistrials I've ever seen on film. Massive twist there, and I think Kim hired him, as well as Gus is worried about the coronavirus having his employee wash that fryer at least 8 times.
Wow.
And staring at a phone, very OCD. We also got Hank Schrader and Gomi once again, and we're going to be talking about an awesome special segment at the end of the show called Object or Sustain. Dun dun. And thank you, Jonathan.
There it is.
And where we talk about an element of the show that we are objecting to. It's bad, it's not good, or sustaining, and we are going to allow it, and we are into it. Which there are a lot of those moments throughout the entire show. But first, overall thoughts. Let's start with Gabbi.
Overall thoughts, I just think it was intense, obviously, like all the other episodes are, but I think the scene that got me the most was the deep fryer scene and the scene with Hank and Gomi, the car chase. I was holding my breath the whole time. I know other people on Twitter were too as well, so yeah.
Deep fryer was nuts.
Yeah.
So I love the episodes when there's a question to be had and my mind is like, wait, I think I know what's going to happen. And sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm way wrong. So I am excited to answer the questions. Why did Mike seem like he wanted to be there on the street to get beat up? And why does Saul go to the thrift store at the top of the show, knowing he was going to go to lunch? And I can't wait for us to talk about that.
And you totally predicted that Kim was going to hire Saul.
Yeah, I got
Great
that one
prediction.
right. That
Yes.
was my,
That was a good one.
Sean.
Culvert. Culvert. That is the funniest thing I think happened this episode when Hank said, it sounds like the Dutch word for crotch rot. So, I don't know. I like to bring the fun and the funny because this show is so darn serious that whenever we can get a laugh, I will take it. So thank you, Hank, for the crotch rot joke.
God, I love. We've got 2 of them now. Just the banter before whatever case they're about to go into. Because I remember they were talking stuff in the locker room last week.
Yes.
And now they're about to do the stakeout and they're talking about Culver.
They're typical conversations that happened in Breaking Bad. It was great. It's like nothing's changed.
It really is great, and they're such an awesome. He also had another great one. And we'll get into the first topic in 1 second. But at the end, he's just like, "All right, guys, got him. Job well done. Going to Mickey's. First drink's on me."
Right.
Just amazing. Awesome episode, I thought. I think this season's been phenomenal. I think it's even stronger than last year. This is like hitting season 3 status for just like the drama and intrigue. There's so many incredible storylines, and I can't wait to break all of them down right here. First up, let's start with how the episode ended on this cliffhanger of sorts, confusing. We're talking Mike. We got him early in the episode with the daughter, and she's like, "Pop," or sorry, no, that's not
Daughter-in-law.
the daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Saying, "Pop, better not come in tonight." And then he ends up fighting, and he's in Mexico. Let's just talk about Mike. What do we think of Mike, y'all?
Yeah, it was interesting because she's right. Like Mike has an edge to him right now. he's trying to stamp it down, but it ain't working. And for him to just kind of show up like that, again, it just shows you that he's not in his right mind. Because he would have smoothed this over like instantly if he was okay. He's not okay.
Yeah, she's picking up on that right away.
Yeah, and I think she's being a mama bear.
She's
like,
right.
You need to stay away, bro.
Yeah. She was like really pushing him back, and
Like almost physically holding him back.
totally.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that anything he could have said.
And you saw how the anger in his face when he's walking towards camera after that.
The
So
snarl.
yeah,
Almost like-
that's what made me think when he went and was walking down the street later on in the episode that he meant to do that. He was like, I just want to beat up and or kill some mofos. That's what I thought.
I like what you said, Gabby, too. You said that you're scared when Mike gets like this.
Yeah, because he doesn't often get like this with family, I feel like. So to see him with family like this, so upset, I mean, she's not wrong. So you don't feel bad for him, but you're just like, oh, geez, something bad's going to happen. And then it did.
He was looking
Then
for
it
trouble.
did,
Yeah.
I guess that's how he blows off steam.
I guess. Just, yeah, so what do you guys think about that? Why do you think he intentionally walked that same way he did a couple episodes ago?
I think it's just an issue he has. I think you guys are nailing on the head. That's how he's going to blow off steam. He's just looking for a fight.
Do you think he feels like he deserves that punishment? People on Twitter were discussing, saying that because of the whole Werner thing, that he feels like he just deserves to get punished. And how he reacted to Kaylee, and he's just wanting to get that punishment, and maybe that was the form. I don't know. This is what people on Twitter
I love that. And people
talking
on Twitter
about. They're great.
can be great, and they also can't be. But I think they're right in that. I totally think they're right there. I think he's looking to get punished. He needs something. I just think he's very emotional right now. I mean,
Absolutely.
we can understand that. And he gets a knife right to the chest.
Yeah,
And
like
cut to black. We were always like, oh, don't put that directed by Vince Gilligan. I don't want the produced by that. What did you guys think of that?
Well, it's interesting. I don't necessarily think he thought it was going to go that far. Like I think, I'm going to get a beat down, but not get shivved, as you so eloquently
here.
said. It was definitely like the guy used a real knife, but that guy shivved people before. Like the way he did it, like he's shivved. He's a shiver.
You could tell. He's shivved before.
Yeah, and okay, so I have to mention that I thought as soon as I saw Mike wake up in the convent that it was Red Dead Redemption. That video game came to me, but when you think of a convent and Red Dead in the game, it's a place of healing, a place kind of away from the action, and so so he's getting some kind of healing. I thought I saw in the previews for the next episode him walking away down in a field, but immediately I thought, what character from Breaking Bad are we introducing who owns this property? That's what I thought.
don't know. Like who could it
Do you
even
think he
be?
put himself in there, or do you think someone found him in the state that he was and they put him in there?
I think someone certainly found him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, because he woke up like, where am I? And then like, oh, somebody stitched me up thing. So he has no idea where he is.
Are we sure it's Mexico?
Oh, I mean, technically it could be New Mexico. It could be a state. That's true.
I mean, because
Yeah.
that's where this all takes place anyway. So do you think
Right.
he's outside, like he left?
I mean, it wouldn't be a stretch if it was Mexico, but there's a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah,
That
so
someone
where the
found him
hell
in
is
this
he?
random.
We could think about every episode of Breaking Bad and be like, wait, could that be the tie-in?
Right,
Could that be
there's
the
so
tie-in?
much.
But on our chat, we have our chat up. We would love to know if you have any theories about that, where you think Mike is if we're introducing a new character, or if it's just a place for him to kind of refresh.
And tell them where else they can go to be in other live chats on AfterBuzz TV.
What?
Well,
Oh, okay, not to hell. Come on, these are our friends out here. All right.
I mean that.
You can go to. Okay, no. So we would love you too if you're listening to us on our podcast. Hey, you didn't know we had a podcast version of this? Yes, we do. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. So if you want to take a listen to a podcast version of these, also we are on live chat right now. So if you didn't know, we are here to talk to you and get your feedback on these episodes. Come on to our YouTube live chat. We go live when the show goes live. Also, give us 5 stars. Give us thumbs up. Let us know you like what we're doing so we can create more content. I love being here. I know these 3 love being here.
So much fun.
We will argue about who likes being here more and who loves you more. It's me.
And thank you all for tweeting at us throughout the week.
Thank you.
We are all getting tagged in these awesome
Yeah,
awesome
definitely.
tweets. Just
Yeah.
loving the
It's very cool.
interaction.
Very cool.
Going on to Saul. Really interesting episode for Saul. I feel like the past 3 episodes, anytime Jimmy has veered to the Saul era, it's been portrayed as a negative thing. I think this is one of the first episodes where it's been more of a positive thing for the characters himself and around him. First starting everything with Howard. We started with the bowling balls. Loren, you were wondering what the bowling balls were going to signify, and then you saw what happened. What do you think?
Yeah, well, again, it was one of those questions is, wait a minute, why did he go to the thrift store at the top of the show to find something? And we saw him knowing he was going to toss it over something. We saw he did, but what was he always planning on doing that? Assuming that Howard would be a dick? Or was it kind of like, if he's a dick, I've got something to throw?
It's a great question.
I think he was assuming he was going to be a dick because
Yeah.
he knew he had that meeting. Because when he woke up with Kim, which we saw his ass.
I was going to mention that. I wrote that in my notes. Saul naked or Jimmy naked, and you can't unsee that kind of stuff. I was
your
not. I
notes?
was like, oh no,
It was in
yeah,
your
it's in my
notes.
notes.
So you're saying it's not a good look?
It's great. It was a great look for both of them. It was a great look for both of them.
It's a good look, but he was like, I got that meeting with Howard today. So I think he knew he was doing the meeting.
So that's interesting because I thought that he was trying to figure out, well, if we can throw bottles, why not something bigger and better? Like that's where my mind went in the top of the show. So now I'm like, was it for Howard the whole time, or did it get switched because of Howard? The more I hear you guys talk, the more I'm like, I think it
That's
was for
interesting.
Howard, but
Yeah.
that's where my mind went. That let's
Yeah.
throw this off the balcony.
Now, he's always hated Howard, and Howard's always been looking out for Howard. So I'm not surprised that he decided that the lunch probably was going to go the way it did. And then when he had that line about, about his brother, about Jimmy's brother.
That was killer.
Yeah.
I mean, so Howard's an interesting character. I love Howard.
Yeah.
Patrick Fabian, incredible performance. I assumed a lot of that was just him, exactly what you're saying, looking out for himself, trying to justify what he's done in the past. But I also feel like he's gullible in a lot of senses. And he might legitimately believe what he's saying. Did you guys think that a lot of that was an act, or did he actually believe, no, that was all between you and your brother, and does he actually believe he's out of the wrong here?
No, well, I think it's funny. I think there was a lot of truth to what he was saying in that Chuck never wanted Jimmy at the firm, right? That was not happening while Chuck was alive.
Right.
And I think Howard would have brought him in because I think Howard legitimately recognizes you're a go-getter, Charlie Hustle. You will do what it takes. We need, as a lawyer, you kind of need that.
You're right.
So, Chuck was very by the book and very dignified, as where obviously Jimmy/Saul is the opposite. He's like, I'm going to get it done.
Right.
Whatever it takes. And I think Howard was being legit and saying what he was saying, but I think it's too little too late.
Yeah, it's too little.
Absolutely.
You got to be kidding me, bro. Really?
Gabbi.
And he wanted to know all about Saul. He was like, tell me about this guy. Tell me you can't do this. And then it really struck me when Howard said, we took your legacy type of thing. We took your name, with Hamlin, and McGill. And I was like, really?
Do you think that's the accurate diagnosis of why he changed the name? I think it's more than that.
I think there's more than that, but that was the observation that Howard made, and I thought that was interesting that he said that. And I'm like, now you want to say that? I mean,
Right.
Jimmy's been trying to be a part of Hamlin and McGill for so long, and now you want to say all this stuff to him? It was kind of frustrating. And are we talking about when he threw the bowling balls at the car yet?
Yeah, we can go there.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't care for Howard's character just because how he treated Jimmy/Saul now, and how he wants him back and is begging, but Howard's face on the balcony when he sees the bowling balls and just locks his car after he sees that they destroyed his car. I was like, he looks so sad, and I honestly felt for him a little bit right there. I shouldn't probably, but I did.
Does he know? I wonder, does he know it's
I don't know if he saw
Jimmy
him.
Saul?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he saw him, and I don't
Yeah.
know that he knows. I think he might just. I think later in the next day he probably would suspect it, but I don't think in the moment he was like, that was Jimmy or
Okay.
Saul. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because
What do you think,
I was wondering what he was doing with the bowling balls at first, because he puts on his spy cap and goes right in, and he even looked over the fence before he threw the first one. So the first one I think was just a practice, and then he like taps the car, and then he nicks it.
Oh, he was so excited that he did. He's like,
Yeah, and it was just like an act of vandalism. I don't think he's gonna get caught. He put on gloves so there wouldn't be fingerprints, which is the only thing I think you could get off of a bowling ball.
Right.
So I think he's in the clear. I just don't know. It's a sadistic way of like revenge. It's a weird thing to do.
kind of typical Saul.
It is typical Saul.
Not Jimmy as much, but definitely Saul's character to be like, oh, well, screw you. I'm going to do this.
Entirely. And we even saw that rubbing off on Kim a little bit this episode with, we had this epic mistrial. Guys, we got to talk about the mistrial.
So good.
The scene just opens with Kim coming into the
courtroom.
The courtroom. Oh my God, the courtroom, and he immediately is like, "So my client, this one right here, this is the one you saw," and it was a guy in the back room. Like, what a mic drop!
Yeah.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah, as soon as he like pointed out the third time, I was like, it's not the guy. I saw it coming. And then of course, oh yeah, no, I saw. I was like, he's got him somewhere else, and he's gonna have a look-alike. Yeah,
It's wild.
it was. I mean, still, it was a great mic drop moment. But I definitely was seeing it coming.
It just shows how he's so dialed in. He can do all these moves, and Kim wants that.
Yeah.
So what do we think about Kim asking him for a favor?
Don't you?
I knew. I called that one
She
too.
did. We went to commercial break, and Loren was like,
Guys.
he's gonna ask her.
Yeah,
She's gonna ask him.
but in part because you talk about how Kim kind of struggles between the good side and the bad side,
Yeah.
and what does she see in Jimmy/Saul? And so I was like, she really wants Everett Acker, really feels bad for him and wants to help the little guy, and so she's like, I gotta ask Jimmy to put on the Saul uniform to help me out here. In a way.
Can I add on to that?
Go.
So
Yeah.
someone on Twitter, I want to call them out in a good way.
Call him out.
At the Dinkologist. Just good name.
Dinkologist.
He says, notice that Kim cleans up her messes and others' messes, while Jimmy often just creates them for someone else. So, and he's talking about the scene where they pass the glass, and then Saul is like, oh, someone else will clean it up. That's why you're paying for rent. And
Yeah.
she goes back and starts sweeping. And I thought that before I saw this person's tweet, I was like, typical Kim, struggling with that. Do I go with him and do the wrong thing, or do I do my thing and clean it up because I know that's the right thing to do? And she chose to do what Kim wants to do, and that's the right thing.
Such a good analysis of
I
that.
thought of it, and then I saw that. I was like, oh, I'm calling this person out because it was so right, and I tweeted at them. Yeah, so it's great.
And they're not the only one on our chat. Jason Sadowski was kind of also talking about Kim's fate, that she keeps seeing when she operates within the law, she loses. If she manipulates the law, she wins.
Yeah, I was gonna actually.
That's good.
I was
Yeah.
gonna piggyback on what you
Jason.
said.
That was
Okay.
good. That was a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, no, I was gonna piggyback on what you said. Like, with the glass, she cleans it up, right? Because he doesn't.
Yeah.
So then she tries to do the right thing with Mesa Verde. Like, makes a great point, right? A whole presentation about why we should move, right? The thing, and they're like, "Yeah, we're good on that, Kim. Thanks." So it's like, okay, I try to do it the right way. Now
Yeah.
I got to do it the Saul way.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's taking matters into her own hands. And in the past, that hasn't worked when she's trying to go in the easy way out. But I don't feel like this is the easy way out. I think this is.
Oh, this is a long play.
This is a long play.
Yeah.
This is like actually her trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And now she needs to. Oh my God! What
All
are we
right,
right here?
just came to me. I know what's going to happen. I'm doing my prediction early.
Okay.
Here's what's going to happen to Kim. Better Call Kim, the new AMC series.
Oh man.
Right?
Wow.
Raciorn. Shout out. But yeah, she calls him. And
Yeah.
we get that great scene of him putting his foot right in between the door.
Oh.
And they have that back and forth. And he convinces him in a matter of seconds by imagery.
Yes.
Imagery. Oh, yeah.
That
Visual
imagery
aids.
was very interesting, very bold, but he knew how to get to him.
Very bold?
Yeah, but he knew how to get to him, his demographic and how he talks and how he's been talking to Kim. So he's like, might as well.
It brings new meaning to that phrase. I'm here to see a man about a horse.
Oh,
We got an F word this episode.
Yeah.
He said that, man, effing a horse.
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
that's
Yeah,
right.
we did get an F
That's
word.
right. Yeah.
And
Shocking.
I just love that scene was classic Saul, and he's calling her on the way out. He's like, "Yeah, I used visual aids," and you saw the background of the city with a man on a horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, he's going to be representing him.
And
So
she was thrilled about that.
we're going to get an epic court scene probably later this
Oh
season.
yeah, like epic Saul in the court because he's so good in the court scenes too. So I mean, we just saw it obviously like when he does the bait and
Yeah.
switch. So like,
right.
yeah.
Do you think this is going to come back to her, Kim, though? Ultimately, like, what's going on there? That cannot.
Go as
When
well.
they go in the courtroom and they're like, "Oh, your boyfriend's representing our opponent here," like that can't end well.
I don't think so. I don't think it's really gonna. I don't think it really behooves the show to make Kim lose again. I think the idea is when she works under the Saul umbrella, things work out. Something else I have to point out: Jason also added Kim had an ear Bluetooth, very Saul-like. Missed that one.
It's funny because
good.
I was trying to see. I'm like, is she holding the phone? I'm like, and then they revealed it. It was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
so-
good call.
That's such a good
Okay,
call, yeah.
Jason. All right. Well, let's see what you have to say about this last topic we got, which is with Gus and the cops. Again,
Yeah.
just two side-by-side storylines. One really high stakes. We got like drug drops. Hank and Gomi are following them. They're like radioing to the cops. And the other one is just an employee of Los Pollos cleaning a fryer
that
because
poor guy.
Deshaun didn't put it on. Deshaun didn't cover it. So
Right.
he's got to
Well,
clean it.
Yeah, he didn't. But he didn't clean it apparently well either.
It was Lyle. Now it's all on Lyle, and he's like, oh, he's sweating and he's scrubbing every inch. I was holding my breath that entire time
That
because
was
I thought
wild.
something was gonna happen to him. But it was coinciding with the car chase.
So when we were after that scene, we were talking off air, and Ryan, you brought up a really good point. I
Oh,
think
here we go.
you should
What'd I
pull
say?
this out. Well, because we all were speculating it. Why was he doing this? Right?
That's
Why
right.
why was Gus doing this with this kid? Why was he torturing this kid with the cleaning?
Yeah, and I think, well, on the one hand, it's because he's a perfectionist, like we were saying.
Sure.
Everyone, you all were saying like he's OCD. He's
Absolutely.
very like things have to be perfect. But also, I think he is buying time as like a quote unquote alibi in case they were like, hey, why did Gus Fring stay late this night? Well, it's because he was watching the other employee clean the
That's
fryer.
Such a great point.
And he was even saying, I can take it from here. And so if Lyle left, he would know, oh, Gus stayed late
Yeah.
to clean. So I just think that's so clever. He has that witness alibi in case anything happened.
Gus is always 10 steps ahead.
Oh,
Always 10 steps ahead.
yeah. And it's horrifying. Like, he was even terrifying to Lyle, just his verbiage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you
that
guys
was-
be terrified if you were there late at night and he's just like, it's fine, but it's not great. And he's like, I'll work on it. I mean, I could fix it. And even after that, he's like, it's acceptable. What do you mean
Acceptable.
acceptable? After
That's
all
like
that?
worse than it's awful.
Yeah.
Like acceptable is like I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Oh, I was just gonna say that when your parents say that to you,
Yes,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, and there it goes.
Yeah, notice Lyle was sweating.
Dude, drips.
Yeah.
The drip.
Drips of sweat. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I kept waiting for guys to be like, it was clean until you sweated all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys are old enough to know, but you may be. Gus Fring, his last name. Do you know what Frings are or were?
Inform us,
Frings?
Loren.
Remind me.
So back in the 80s, Jack in the Box had a bag of half French fries, half onion rings. They called them Frings. You remember that?
Wow.
And so it just clicked to
Wow.
me that Gus is running a fast food.
Oh
so
my
this is probably a
gosh.
little writer's Easter egg discovered.
Well
That's
done.
really
Yeah.
good.
Frings.
Wow.
Well
Which I
done.
miss. And if you,
I love
Yeah.
that.
Bring them back, Jack in the Box. Bring them back.
bring them back. And I am often called an onion ring and a bag of fries. So
Well, you
that's
might
how
need
I
to have
address
some
myself.
for next week's show. I
Yeah,
think.
we
We
should.
should just
That
have
would be
some
great. I
Frings.
love
There needs to
fries.
be a Better Call Saul pop-up where they have Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be
They
awesome.
did it. They did it. I don't know if it's still up. I don't know if
Oh,
you
that's
guys know.
right.
They did a pop up, and I wanted to go so
LA.
bad. My friend visited, and oh man.
We all need to go, but
Yeah.
the one other thing, just with this last storyline, so the drop happens, and we get Hank again with Gomi, and they're watching it, and he escapes down that drain pipe. I don't think he ever went in the sewer.
Do you think the money was already there?
I think he
For
just
them to
hid behind.
find?
I think he just hid behind like the hill, and but
Right.
he ran in that direction to make them think because he just surfaced and it
Oh,
was
really?
over.
Oh, interesting. I thought he popped out on the other side of that thing.
Oh, so
But-
you think he took a shortcut and just like...
Yeah, I think he just
Surfaced
kept
out.
going through, and then I mean, that's kind of what I got. But you could be right. Maybe it was all one big,
I think that
misdirection.
they get away from it, and we have an amazing audio. They get away from it, and he gets away clean, and they still get all this money, like everything. Hank, they both kind of made out all right, because you could tell Hank and Gummy were disappointed they didn't get the guy, but they got all this money. And how sincere do you think Hank was being at the end there with that speech?
It's fake. It reminds me of Breaking Bad when he's in the office coming back from when he gets paralyzed, and he comes back and he's like, "Oh, I'm back," or no, it wasn't after he got paralyzed. It was before that when he was dealing with the post-traumatic stress for that, and he comes back and he's like, "I'm back," and what have you guys been up to? Let's see what you guys been up to. And then he goes to his office and he instantly shuts down and is like, it's all an act. I feel like he can hide it so well if he's disappointed, and I think that's what he puts on for other people because he acts like this macho guy, and it's typical for him.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hank, I think, just feels scared of losing, of being in the wrong. He's always got to cover himself. Things always have to turn out well for him, no matter how they do.
Right, and that's just his personality.
Yeah.
He just wants more. He wants to go to the next thing, not get too complacent. And I love when he was like, "Let's spelunk." Yeah, he went down. But we are going to spelunk into some of our favorite and least favorite moments of the episode with object and sustain. We can do a unique thing tonight, y'all, because bowling balls were in the episode throughout. So I'm just going to say I am sustaining all that. I think those were strikes in a good way. No gutter balls this episode. I was really thrilled with all these storylines. Although I am going to object to no Nacho and no Lalo.
Oh,
None. We didn't get anything from them. And they are who I think Sean and I are digging like the most this season. I love Lalo. I
yeah,
think
Lalo
he's
is my
So I'm objecting to no Lalo.
All right.
What do you think, Sean?
It's funny. You kind of stole a little bit of my thunder because I was going to.
no.
Well, first of all, I'm objecting to Howard's offer to Jimmy. It's too little, too late, buddy. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like you bringing Chuck in for this whole guilt weird thing and to relieve yourself.
It's too late.
It's too late. I object. And then I was going to sustain with bowling for Namaste, but you stole that thunder. So I will.
Great minds think alike. That's
That's true. That's true. You know what? That's okay. We can both sustain the same thing. So I sustain bowling for Namaste. Loren, what about you?
Namaste.
You stole none of my thunder, so this is good. I object to Lyle, who's just trying to work.
Oh my God.
I love, as a former employee of In-N-Out Burger and working in fast food, I love
yeah?
seeing,
know
I
that.
love seeing the people who work at the store because I am just like they are,
They get
and they are
represented.
just like me. You've got bosses. You're just trying to make a few dollars. So I feel for Lyle. I object that we haven't heard any news about Better Call Kim yet.
We need yet.
And it should be an animated series,
oh,
My God.
just for fun.
like Bob's Burgers meets Better
yeah,
Call Saul.
she's got a dog that talks, and you know,
Wow.
it's got a cape.
It's
You know,
got it written already. You just
Yeah.
save your ideas
Yeah.
because someone might steal your
I
stuff.
know. It's
No
Your
one's
it's
stealing it.
content,
yeah, that's my object and sustain.
copyright Loren Kling.
right? Okay, I am objecting everything with Howard, like you said. I called that a couple episodes ago that he was going to offer him a job, and I don't buy it either. I think that it's too late, and I hate that he brought up Chuck. That was so horrible. You know, Jimmy hides it, but he had a hard time with that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Howard just had to throw that in there to rub it in his face. And I'm sustaining Kim and this battle doing good. I was kind of happy to see her clean up that glass and be herself and not listen to Jimmy, you know, just that one
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I'm sustaining that.
Quick news from Gabby, real quick.
Yeah, really quick. On Rolling Stone, there's an article talking about the ant scene in the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
And how the ants were real, and it goes into detail about that. And then Loren also pointed out on the Better Call Saul Instagram that they talk about, you know, more in detail about that scene. So yeah, guys, go check that out.
Really interesting scene. And again, like that analysis we just had of everything in this episode, I'd love to read the analysis on the ant scene and how it was actual ants.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to be. We were talking about how good the effects were because we thought it was, we thought it was fake.
There's an ant wrangler here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. Support your ant wrangler. All right, we have very little time at all, so we're gonna do very quick predictions.
Wait, I want to jump in.
Yeah.
Producer Jonathan wants to take over and give you some news too.
What's the news, Jonathan?
Some old news, some old breaking news.
What's the old breaking news?
Is the fact that there is a restaurant for Los Pollos Hermanos in LA.
Oh my gosh.
It is what is known as a virtual restaurant. And I thought I'd bring that
Oh
up.
my God.
But
Oh.
I say it's old news because it was back in October of 2019. So
Okay.
it was a few months ago. But I wanted to just show you guys some of this.
Wow.
It's virtual, huh?
Okay, we need
Yeah.
to take a field
Thank
trip.
you.
So basically,
Yeah, we do.
But it's virtual.
what it says is delivery from this place is available in LA, and you can get it from like Uber Eats and stuff like that. And that there will not be a brick and mortar location.
Oh, so there's no physical
I
see.
spot.
Exactly.
But we could have it delivered to the
Exactly.
studio.
And have
Uber
it eat
Eats.
it here.
Yeah.
That
You
would
have
be
to go get it.
amazing.
This will be the test. We'll start the after show ordering on the phone, and we'll time their arrival time.
I like that.
I think next week we're gonna need to do that.
Love
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
Love it.
Quick predictions coming up. Let's start with Loren Kling, the prediction master. That's his job. That's his thing. That's Loren Kling. Give us your predictions, Loren.
He doesn't know how to follow up after that. He's like, oh, okay.
I predict that you, Ryan, is going to keep pointing to me first for predictions and ruin my life on every remaining episode. You know what? I like you all. I'm excited. I'm predicting that there's going to be a big courtroom scene with Saul v. Kim. And that is going to be a fantastic episode
Oh my God, that's amazing.
with Mesa Verde.
Oh
Sorry.
my!
I hope
Wow,
that we
bro.
are eating I hope we are eating our frings while we're watching that episode. That's my prediction.
Oh my God.
You just blew my mind with that. Because
think
you're
his
right. It
prediction
has to
wins.
be. It
Wins
has
the
to
whole
be
night.
Kim. Yeah.
It has to be.
I think we go out on that note. I mean, that's
Right?
amazing. Unless you really have something you want to predict.
I'm like, well, maybe, but I predict that the FCC won't let Kim be, won't let she be she, and we'll have to see. What do you think, Sean McHugh?
I'm
Rhyme
very
master.
confused about what you just said.
That was sort of an Eminem lyric that I changed.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Kim is going to get wrapped up in this Mesa Verde thing. I think her trying to do the right thing is actually going to be her downfall.
All right.
Sean.
I am going to make a very, very simple prediction that we will see my boy Lalo in the next episode.
Okay.
That's a very safe.
Safe.
good
I'm going
prediction.
safe today. Going safe today.
Gabbi.
I think we're gonna see a lot more of Gus and his OCD-ness, and I think we're gonna see more with his employees and how he's acting towards them. I kind of want to see how if he's changing his character a little bit with them, or if it was a one-time thing and it was all calculated in his head, like you said.
Any more Lyle?
I hope so. I hope he's okay.
Poor
Dude,
Lyle.
let's get Lyle in studio.
That would be great.
Come on.
Talk
That'd
about
be
that
amazing.
scene was intense. And it was great acting by him. It really was. It was a lot, like something so simple like cleaning a deep fryer, and they made it so that was one of the most like scenes where I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
I want a how to clean a deep fryer video from Lyle.
That's
what
awesome.
I want. And what do y'all want? Please comment below. Give us a review on iTunes. 5-star. We'll shout out any review you leave us there. Until next time, Gabbi Castania, where can people find you?
Twitter at Gabbi Castania, Castania, and on Instagram, Gabriella Castania.
Loren Kling.
Instagram at Loren Kling, LorenKling. Tuesdays here for Schitt's Creek.
Sean McHugh.
At SeanStar75 on the gram, at Gorilla Suit Sean on the Twitter, and also coming up soon on the Ozark After Show.
Love that show. Oh my gosh. And you can find me at Ryan Nilsen on Twitter. That's RYNILSEN. Shout out to Jonathan in the booth for all the awesome news and sound effects throughout the entire episode. Until next time, better call you later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.